On June 15, 2026, the grace period for Tennessee's temporary emergency security rules slammed shut. The state enacted a strict, permanent legislative framework. If you're a security guard or company owner operating under the old rulebook, you are actively risking the revocation of your state credentials. Surviving this transition requires what we call compliance triage. You must identify and address the highest liability changes immediately to protect your livelihood and business. State law no longer recognizes ignorance of these permanent rules as a valid legal defense. Immediate adaptation is required to stay on the right side of the code. The most immediate operational shock hits field personnel carrying long guns. The state has completely eliminated and absorbed the traditional standalone legacy shotgun qualification program. This creates a strict new baseline. A standard armed registration now legally limits an officer to carrying approved handguns and pistols exclusively. This diagram shows the new legal division. To deploy any shotgun or authorized rifle, officers must acquire the Enhanced Armed Guard certification. This status requires a mandatory 16-hour training course and strict live-fire drills. It demands a $200 fee and must be renewed annually. Long gun deployment is no longer an accessible standard upgrade. It is a highly specialized, high-barrier liability class that companies need to carefully evaluate before authorizing on any post. Beyond the field, these updates drill down into the administrative backbone of the industry, starting with certified security trainers. The state now enforces a rigid continuing education mandate. Trainers must complete 12 aggregate hours of relevant instruction every 2 years, with absolutely zero allowance for rolling over extra hours. The barrier to entry has also been raised. New trainer applicants are now required to document a minimum of 5 years of full-time operational or instructional experience. The rules around digital instruction are tighter as well. Any platform hosting online security courses must now pass independent commissioner audits to verify student authenticity. On the logistics side, contract companies filing special event permits face compressed timelines. Fully detailed officer rosters must now be submitted a strict 10 days before the event begins. And if you submit an incomplete application, the state is no longer waiting around. Missing documents trigger hard 10 to 30-day deadlines. Miss the window and your application is closed, forfeiting your fees entirely. The state is using these strict administrative deadlines to force systemic accountability. Disorganized companies failing to track these dates will pay a heavy financial penalty. Because the state has shifted so much liability onto operators, established training academies are treating these new mandates as a primary filter for risk management. For example, Alliance Training and Testing made a deliberate strategic decision not to offer the new 16-hour Enhanced Armed Guard Rifle certification. The operational logic is clear. Deploying high-velocity rifles in commercial or public environments introduces immense civil liability, complex engagement protocols, and catastrophic ballistic overpenetration risks. By opting out of the enhanced rifle program, operators remain tightly aligned with the safest, most legally defensible national industry standards. Modern security professionalization prioritizes minimizing public liability and mastering core defensible competencies over simply carrying the highest velocity weapons allowed by law. Alliance focuses its resources entirely on providing the safest, highest caliber training for standard armed, unarmed, less lethal, and Dallas Law certifications. As the pioneer of state-approved digital compliance in Tennessee, their proprietary systems naturally exceed the state's rigorous new online auditing standards. When you partner with Alliance Training and Testing, you're aligning with reliable, fully compliant instruction. Visit securityguardlicensentn.com to secure your credentials with a liability-focused expert before the new compliance deadlines derail your career.